Are you someone who struggles with acid reflux? If so, you are not alone. There are so many people out there who do, and a lot of people are just like you, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And that's what we're here to talk about today. We're comparing Gaviscon Advance, which has been a long time popular method for reducing or eliminating acid reflux. And we're going to be comparing it to up and coming brand Reflux Gourmet, who may just be the top competitor for Gaviscon Advance. So we're going to dive into both of these popular products. We'll talk about ingredients, how they work, user experience, and which one is going to be worth your money, especially since, spoiler alert, if you don't know already, Gaviscon Advance is not sold in the US anymore. And we'll get to that too. So let's start with some of the basics. So Gaviscon Advance has been around since the 90s and has a really long history of creating great products for acid reflux and gas relief. So if you come down to their website, this is the US version of their website. You'll see that they have both liquids and tablet form, but they no longer have Gaviscon Advance listed here. You can hop over to their page based in the UK, and you'll see that this is what we're looking at here. It used to be sold in the US, but has been removed from all shelves, so you have to have it imported if you want it. And it is not easy to come by. From everybody that I have talked to, it gets stuck at customs a lot, and often, even if you ship it from the UK, is not actually going to make it to your doorstep, even if it says so on Amazon. So coming back over here, you've got a lot of other options, but the big thing that makes Gaviscon Advance really unique, or at least it has been unique up until Reflux Gourmet came into the picture, was its use of alginates. So if you come over here, it's not going to let us see it. So you've got, it has sodium alginate in it, which is a derivative from brown seaweed. And essentially, what it does is create a raft or a barrier on top of your stomach contents to keep them from coming up your esophagus and giving you that sense of heartburn or indigestion. It also has potassium bicarbonate in it, which is used in like Tums or other similar antacids to help neutralize stomach acid on top of creating that barrier that is what makes Gaviscon Advance really effective. And as you can see here, it provides long-lasting relief and is suitable for pregnant women. So if you're somebody who is expecting a little one and is struggling with acid reflux, which is so common, it is generally considered safe. So that's a little bit about Gaviscon Advance. And again, you can't find it here in the States. So a lot of people have been looking for new options, something that is going to provide similar relief and maybe is going to do a little bit more than like Tums or Pepto-Bismol, things like that. So this is where where Reflux Gourmet comes into the picture. So coming over here to their website, you see just a really nice, clean aesthetic. And honestly, that is just the beginning for this company. They're a little bit newer, and so I was a little bit skeptical when I first heard about them, started reviewing some of their stuff, but I can tell you it works. I have talked to so many people and have some really good friends who use this on a daily basis. So they've got two main products here. They have this mint chocolate rescue and the vanilla caramel rescue. So clicking in here, you'll be able to see their product, and it is sold here in the States, which is so helpful. for those of us who are stateside based, and it's created here in California. So it's going to be easy to access. You can have it shipped all over the country from Amazon, which I'll show you in just a minute. And it's going to tell you a lot more than the Gaviscon website will tell you about their product. Reflux Gourmet is 100% all natural. And when it comes to any kind of medications or supplements, that is usually a good thing. And it is for me. I know that's something that I always am looking for, is something that isn't going to add other chemicals or anything else into my body that I don't want there. And it also contains ingredients that are considered safe for children and during pregnancy, which is something that you don't see with the Gaviscon Advance. It does not say that it is safe for children. It recommends that you speak to a pediatrician, which is probably a good thing in any case, anytime you're giving your kiddo something. But it also is known to have no side effects. And this is like another really cool thing that I didn't know when I first tried this, is that it can help relieve hunger pains associated with intermittent fasting. And so many people that I know who are doing intermittent fasting struggle with the acid reflux just because their stomach doesn't always have something in it to keep some of that reflux down. And so this is going to work kind of in tandem with that to really help relieve some of the hunger pains as you're getting started and also keep the reflux at bay. So if we come down here to their ingredients, it's definitely a lot more transparent, easy to find. So coming down here, everything is very readily available here. And they have this Reflux Gourmet proprietary alginate complex that also is going to include that same sodium alginate. And it also includes bicarbonate. This one is a sodium one, which is the same thing you'll find in Alka-Seltzer. So if you are generally more of a Tums person, maybe Reflux Gourmet isn't going to be your top choice. Maybe it's going to be that Gaviscon Advance if you can find it. But for those who have tried Alka-Seltzer and used it and like that, but maybe need a step up from that, it's got the same ingredient there, as well as the alginate to form that wonderful little raft that is going to keep everything down in your stomach where it is supposed to be. So now that you know a little bit about both, let's talk about how to get them, where to get them, how much they cost. So if you come over here, this I got on Amazon's website and set the location to the UK so you could actually see the Gaviscon Advance that we're talking about here. And you'll be able to see this. It's going to kind of click through suitable to, again, during pregnancy. It's going to relieve some signs and symptoms. And it is the version that has the alginates in it. If you find a Gaviscon Advance in the US, you'll see a lot of other products that are branded that way, but they don't actually have the alginates in them, like this Gaviscon Advance does over in the UK. And so it is kind of priced really pretty modestly and has really good ratings, although there is only 34, which I think is kind of odd. So it's either maybe new to Amazon in the UK or people just are not reviewing it. But it does get good reviews from those who have used it. And if you come down here, you can see people love it for the most part. They say the taste is okay, which is what I've heard from most people who have used this, is that it can be kind of hard to choke down. So if you're somebody who has kind of that quick gag reflex, this is maybe not the best option for you. And then if we come over to, we're back in the States, and here we have Reflux Gourmet, and it is also, again, showing that alginate therapy made in the US. This is their vanilla caramel option. You've also got the mint chocolate, or you can try some single serve combo packs if you don't want to commit to a flavor. And it is going to be priced a little bit higher, but if you calculate it all out, um, based on like serving and serving size, it's like, I believe, 60 cents and 64 cents. So 60 cents for the Gaviscon Advance, 64 cents for the Reflux Gourmet. And that does not include any kind of like customs or other fees that you would incur trying to get the Gaviscon Advance in the US. And it gets also really good reviews, a little bit lower, but it's also got a lot more reviews. And I think the big thing for most people is anytime you're trying to find a good acid reflux, it's either going to work or it's not going to work. And so I think that's what I noticed in a lot of these reviews is they did not like either the way it tasted, or it just was not a product that worked for them, because no one product is going to work for everybody. But most people who tried it really, really loved it. And I was actually really surprised by the taste. It got really good reviews from most people. I don't think it would taste it. I wouldn't describe it exactly like a dessert, but nothing is going to taste like a dessert unless it is actually a dessert. But this Reflux Gourmet was designed, or in part, by a chef and by ENT doctors. And so you have both like that medical side, and also you have the like chef, really good tasting food kind of side. So you're going to get a lot different experience eating this versus taking that Gaviscon Advance, which has a much more medicinal flavor. So knowing price, knowing background, they both have other ingredients, but I really, again, like this Reflux Gourmet because it has all natural ingredients. So you're not getting any of the other additives or synthetics that you will get with the Gaviscon Advance. So to conclude or kind of wrap up, Reflux Gourmet is now perhaps the top in the US when it comes to acid reflux relief using alginates. It has great flavors. It's an all natural product, so it's going to be healthier, easier on your body rather than the Gaviscon Advance, which is a little bit harder to choke down and even harder to come by if you live in the US. So I recommend trying this Reflux Gourmet, see if it works for you, because it has worked for so many people, and who doesn't want a dessert flavored acid reflux relief product? I know I do, and so much easier to choke down. So I really have enjoyed using this, like the couple of times that I've used it, and for the people that I know who do use it daily, they love it. And I hope you do too. I hope this review helped you make a decision on finding a relief that's going to work for you.